Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Philomena. This has been Ilomiko We Live, We Love, and We Grow in Grace. If you're new here, karibu sana. And I am so glad to have you here. So today we're going to talk about career. Doing it different in careers, because as years have gone by, the things that we were taught, the things that we've known, the things that we have experienced have taught us that it is not how the rule says it is just what works for your experience. And so I have one of my favorite people in the whole world here to help me with this video.
Hi guys, my name is Benedict Mathusi Katumo, and a brother to this gorgeous, amazing person.
Oh, thank you. We're going to talk about careers. There's obviously the things that we have grown knowing about careers generally, about the things that we personally want to do, but also in general what you need to know if you want to go into this career. And there are things that we have come to know that once you start living it, it's different, right? So before we proceed, we're going to express our intentions, for why we think that this conversation is important. And for me personally, it's we are born 2 years apart, and most of these experiences, as we go through them, while it is in different seasons, it's usually closer together. And so while we are choosing careers, it might be he goes ahead of me, but I'm following right before him. And so when things are happening in his life, also because we are very close, is I am watching and I can see it. And so the one thing that I've noticed with your life is going through your experience to become a teacher, you wanted to do it differently than what we have grown up seeing. As I have told you, I have a video about how most of the people in my family are teachers. You should watch that video. I will link it below in the description box. So we've grown seeing a certain way of being a teacher, but you knew that it was different. And so when you expressed that you wanted it to be different, I had my concerns, my fears. And so as things kept unfolding, I was opened up to new things, new like a new knowledge, a new experience. And so I think as I go through that journey with watching you and with bits of my life, it's something that I would love for someone else to know, that this happens, that it is okay to do something differently, a career differently, and that you would be fine. Even if you would make a mistake, you would be fine, and it is okay to feel it in your spirit and to follow that thing in your spirit to do it differently. So that is my intention, to share that.
When Philomena called me to do this video, I accepted for reasons known to me. Because you had approached me at the beginning of your channel, I had to do a video, but I wasn't very excited about it. But this time around, I feel this is very personal for me, because I've gone through this whole career thing. And like she said, like initially, I'm a teacher of English and literature. So I've gone through this whole experience of, the normal application for TSC jobs and how TSC, picks people according to years, depending on how old you are after finishing university and all of that. So the reason why I accepted in coming to share this is, first of all, to vent to some extent and just tell a story. At the same time, to tell someone who is also going through the same, somebody who feels like the normal way our parents have wanted or have done things or have wanted us therefore to do things. But it is different. You can do it differently. To tell them that they are not alone, for them to understand that somebody else is going through it. You're not alone going through it. And so
it's not weird to,
and it is not weird to question. It is not weird to have the feeling or desire
to do
that there is something more for you than just the normal.
Okay, so what are the things that you feel for you were very traditional coming into the teaching world career? What are the things that you feel were like, is it ingrained, like taught by parents, by teachers, by the community? What are the things that felt, what are the things that now knowing felt like it was a box, you are being enclosed? What are those things that just felt that made you feel like no, I think there's something else for me?
Well, now that we're not talking about just teaching alone, growing up, you were told that go to school, get good grades, get good marks to take you to a good school, secondary school.
We are only working for national schools and university.
And get a good grade in secondary school to give you a career. And the career therefore would be, being a teacher. And
that's actually true. We are taught that university is where the careers are.
Like you do a course, a traditional course. You do traditional course. And when I say traditional, basically what I mean is just like the normal, being a doctor,
lawyer,
being a lawyer, being a teacher,
policeman,
does that happen in university?
Actually, that has made me think that even colleges and these other things that you do if you don't go to university have been taught to us that they are done by failures. That if you don't make it to university,
therefore become a policeman.
Go to college. So they come as a second option for failures, which is not the case and which is not true. We are gifted differently, and the thing with education is you are all put on a scale of books, which we are not all gifted in the area of books. And that is okay.
So that's what we've grown up knowing. And then another thing that our primary teachers will tell us is work hard now, get the good grades now, strain now, then later you will not have to strain. You will sleep all you want because you're a doctor, you will sleep all you want because you are a teacher, you will sleep all you want because you're a lawyer, which is not the case. And I get maybe the intention was to encourage us at the time to work hard. And get good careers, which is pushing us to bigger levels, which was a good thing, but they should not have lied to us.
I know.
So
no, seriously, by the way, they should not have, because at that time they knew it, because they were in the stage where we wanted them to we wanted ourselves to be, right? You have made it, you have a career of your own, but they were still waking up early.
But then again, I don't think also
that point they knew. There are other things they didn't know, but that point they knew.
They knew. Well, that they knew.
That they knew.
The other thing I think they didn't know, and we cannot blame our parents, our primary school teachers, is the fact that we can't blame them so much, because that's how they've been brought up.
And that is what worked
in their times, and therefore their parents told them, go to school, work hard, get good grades, become a teacher, become a doctor. So, and that was safe for them at that time. It worked because it gave them a salary, it gave them, at some point get married or marry, build a house, and as a result of that then have children who here we are, and therefore as a result then they think, having tried that and having worked, here we are, so we can only train that to our children as well. So we cannot blame them so much, but there are things they knew, there are things they didn't know.
Yeah. Okay, I've always been a loud one. I've always been a loud one, and I've never known, like, every time you could ask me, I would tell you, oh, I want to be, the first career I think that I thought about was journalist. I don't know if they're called journalists, but the like Lillian Molly, the one who read the
news anchors.
Yes, and I think I wanted that for the face of it, for how it looked. And then I think I wanted to be a pediatrician because I like seeing kids, but I realized that I just like watching kids. I don't like being. So when did it become apparent to you that I want to become a teacher? No doubt. And this is the path that I've chosen, no doubt. But I cannot do it how they did it, because it's not enough for me. It won't satisfy me. It won't make me happy. It won't make me serve better, and it won't make me serve my purpose better. Okay. When did you know that it was different?
Well, I didn't want to be a teacher initially. I wanted to be, you were asked in primary school, what do you want to be when you grow up? And that question led me to answers in my head, like I wanted to be a pilot because I loved, and I still do, planes. I loved planes, so I wanted to be a pilot. At some point I just loved, I would say I would like to become a scientist, which I did not know what means.
What it means.
It's just the fancy name scientist sounded, amazing. So initially I didn't want to be a teacher. Then of course primary school was over, secondary school was over, and then the grades that you get now restrict you to certain career choices. So the safe one that was known in my family was teaching. And that is not to mean that I'm not talented in that area. Somehow, genetically, I'm talented to be a teacher. And therefore, my mother is a teacher, my aunties are teachers, both from my mom's side and my dad's side. So it's a genetic thing, I think.
The person whom you're called after was a teacher, yes. Both in church and in school.
Both in church and in school. So Benedict was a teacher. So I didn't want to be a teacher, but I found myself, being a teacher. And why English and literature? Because I love the language. Yeah, so
did you come to love it, or did you come to realize, well, I'm good in this, and why do you keep at it?
I may not really understand that for now, but going back to, I remember this one day when I went to when I reported to university the first day, and before that also, when you go through this process of choosing these careers, choosing universities, and then you're posted to a university. Teaching was my last option, and the university that I chose was also my last option. So when we got there and I reported on that first day, my mother was asking me, what do you think you want to change? And I told her no. The reason was the fact that I felt that this was something I would want to do. Not so much the fact that it was teaching that I wanted to do, but because of the language. I think I went there for the language. Then going there now, I began realizing, well, I can present very well in class. I can explain things and people understand. Yeah, and yeah.
And you are just naturally and good, whether you're in class or not. I think, and this is something, when you reported, personally, I was behind you always, but I was just like, nah, I don't think so. I just think this is one thing that he's going to be pushed to go do. That was I knew it. Like
what?
that was my thoughts. You are being pushed to do something that you don't want to do. But 2 semesters later, we were in a get together, and he stood at the center of the circle to explain things, and he talked, and I knew that this guy was a teacher, whether in class or not. He was a teacher, and from that day on, I just knew that whatever you are going to do, whether you're in class or not, that teaching was your thing. Whether you're going to venture it on your own, or whether you decide to, however you decide to do it, is that explaining things and teaching is your thing.
Yeah. So yeah, like I was saying, I don't know. God or the universe will lead you to expand. Will lead you to expand to what you're called to. And so, even if it's one thing that is going to lead you in that direction, then Abraham Hicks will talk about the path of least resistance. So, God or the universe knows the path that will lead you to happiness. So, it will lead you. God or the universe will lead you in that direction using the path that is with little resistance. For me, my path of least resistance was English and literature. Yeah, so following that, now I found myself to understand that I can actually do a good delivery in class. Yeah.
So at some point you felt that TSC is not, you want to become a teacher, but TSC is not your thing.
Okay. Yeah, so I enjoyed my literature classes, I enjoyed my English classes. I enjoyed everything that we were being taught there, and structural classification of sentences, all that. It was fun. It was fun. My university was fun. But I think, meeting people and them asking you questions. I think shouts to one lady called Alice Mothoni. She asked me, like, where would you want to be 5 years from now? That is the question that changed my life. I think in relation to career, she asked me that, and she left that question hanging in my head because I couldn't answer that question at that point of speaking. So I took my time and I thought about it, and especially in relation to after university and getting employed and all of that. So I thought I would like to go to teach at a certain school, my former school, which is St. Charles Longa School, Kitui. I would like to go there and teach for 1 year to get some experience, because I felt like going there, it for me was the only place that would give me the experience that I needed to be able to deliver. And then I told myself, so I want to go there for 1 year, and then after that I would now go to an international school. Why international school? First, because of my quote-unquote greed. Like
greed.
Money.
Oh, money. The salary. And that is like, I cannot really say like it was like greed, but when you think about money first, then you're putting yourself in trouble. Yeah.
If you think about money first, then
because then you get it, and then you
start get it, then you're wondering why. What is this? Because
money can come from a lot of things,
so many
but happiness,
happiness
and satisfaction
that comes through career will come through a purpose.
Yeah.
So now, so I thought about international school, and I was asking myself which international school. I thought about Brighton and all that. Now, understand that during that time, I knew nothing about international schools. I knew nothing about Brighton. I didn't know anyone who was working there.
Or land there.
Yeah, so...
All you knew was TSC.
All I knew was that is the direction I wanted to go. I was also aware that TSC was a direction to go, which was known, which was a path that was most walked by many people. Brighton and other international schools would be a whole path that is different. From the normal. So, but being quiet with myself, and I think we will talk about this later, listening was a thing. Listening to yourself.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is the point where I listened and I felt a calling. I think I will just say a calling, because I don't think the purpose of this video is not to tell people that, you know, don't do the average, don't do the traditional. We are not fighting against our parents, we're not fighting against our the way things have been done. It's just mostly to do with what is your calling.
And offering an option.
Yeah.
No, be open to
a
different option.
Because
it's available. If it is the path that you should go through, it is available. It will be made available to you, but stay open to it.